So let me call upon for a talk show Mr. R. Girdharan on the stage. Please, can we have a huge round of applause that will, give a good amount of heat in your body also. Can we have a round of applause, please? Please, sir.
Good afternoon and warm welcome to the afternoon session. So let me thank Ukiyoto Publications for giving me this opportunity to address a very august gathering of fellow authors, poets, and probably avid readers. So at the outset, just let me tell you a couple of things about myself. I am R. Giridharan. I'm a general manager with the Reserve Bank of India. And one of my portfolios till recently was tracking large value frauds. So that was the portfolio for me, that's the work. I'm also an international sports commentator. So I commentate on All India Radio and Doordarshan, and even in the recently concluded Asia Cup in two matches, Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh, Afghanistan versus Pakistan, I was the English commentator on air. That is the other passion that I have. The name of my book, my first real big book, is Right Under Your Nose. It was published by Rupa Publications and it came out last year only. It's a crime fiction murder mystery thriller and a complete original Indian locale for Indian locale. We often used to hear, when it comes, whenever you look at a thriller, the names that come to us are Agatha Christie or Sherlock Holmes or something. I wanted an Indian version. So mine is a howdunit. It is a howdunit where it challenges the reader as to how could such murders be done. Let me tell you, in one of the murders, a same person is murdered twice at the same time, that too in a busy road. How can such a thing happen? How can the same person be murdered twice at the same time? In the second case, two people drink from the same glass in front of 100 guests at the same time. One of them dies, the other doesn't, and no traces of poison found. How could that be possible? How can a bullet get inside a room whose doors and windows are closed and which is latched from inside? How did the bullet reach the body? If you want to answer to these vexed questions, you should buy the book Right Under Your Nose by R. Giridharan. I did a lot of field research while doing it. I used to go to forensic labs. I used to talk to the forensic toxicologists about various aspects of poison, various aspects of bullets. So they used to tell me how these things could happen. And from that, I saw a dead body. That dead body was a very strange dead body, different from any other dead body. The face being, the mouth being very large in proportion to the face. Then he told me about that disease. That gave me, and the symptoms of the disease, that gave me a clue about how one can weave a murder mystery around that disease. I spent 7-8 days with a snake charmer. Most of to the world, India is a land of snake charmers. But do we know how does a snake charmer train his snake? None of us know that. I got to see firsthand as to how they train their snakes. and how they lure the snake also. I also learned about the difference between venom and poison from these snake charmers, how they milk the venom, how different snakes have different venom. And you'll be surprised that if snake venom is consumed like a tonic, it is not poisonous at all. Because it is not poison, it is venom. Venom has to go directly into the bloodstream. Poison can be anything. It can be ingested through eating, it can go into the bloodstream, or it can be inhaled. The gas can be poisonous. This also I came to know while being with the snake charmer and while discussing with the toxicologist. I thought long and hard about how could it be possible that a bullet travels through closed doors and windows. Long and hard. And I found two ways that it can happen. So both the ways are there in the book. There are two fundamental philosophies I wanted to give through the book. You know, this is an era when we all think high tech, high tech, high tech. That's the buzzword. Technology is one buzzword, big bucks is the other. High tech and big bucks. As a person from the Reserve Bank of India, I see a lot of big bucks, but they are not mine. But I see a lot of them. So big bucks don't interest me, intrigue me, or frighten me. I'm technologically very poor, so there's no way I could use the technology. But what I believe and what I wanted to show in this book is imagination can trump high tech and big bucks any day. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the technology in the world. But if somebody else's imagination, he would be the winner, not you. It's imagination which has got untold wealth. Even Einstein used to say, science doesn't know the debt it owes to imagination. Einstein spent lesser time in the laboratory, but more time imagining that he was sitting on a beam of light and traveling. And that is how he found the theory of relativity. For some reason or the other, imagination has taken a backseat these days. As poets, as writers, as opinion makers, it is time for us to rekindle. We talk about kindle. Instead of kindle, let us rekindle imagination in all of us, into our children, and into our students, children, juniors, whatever it might be. So, and the answer, eventually in my book itself, as it happens, the detectives are there going around the world. But eventually, the answer lies right under their nose. That's why it is titled as Right Under the Nose. The final clinching clue was right under their nose, which they could not see. If you see any detective story of any time, you will find that there is one great detective, where it's Hercule Poirot, it can be Miss Marple, it can be Sherlock Holmes, and then there is an assistant. What I have attempted in this is, it is a team of detectives. There are two detectives, and both of them are equal to each other. One is a male, the other is a female. And both bring different strengths to each other. And I always believe that a team consisting of a man and a woman is the strongest possible team, because they bring to forge different competencies and become very formidable. It is cast in a small town like Nagpur, and it's typically Indian in its locale, its outlook, and everything. So I thank once again Ukiyoto Publications for giving me this opportunity to come and address you. I thank you for listening to me first up post lunch. In fact, I have been adjusted as well because I think it was slated a little later, but they have been kind enough to reschedule and give me this opportunity. So thank you very much, and please buy the book Right Under Your Nose by R. Giridharan.